that actually went like defending.
I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. No clue why the mic was on mute, but we're back again, people. Second live stream of the day, third or fourth bit of live content. There's more on the way. You know, I keep doing this thing. One love to everyone that's locked in. Please make sure you're following on Twitch or subscribing on Twitch. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. You know, good evening to those of you in the UK. I say good evening. I don't know why I say good evening. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you guys are. Maybe it's because we're on Twitch. I'm not used to seeing the purple signs. It threw me off. But, you know, I love you guys, people. I love you guys because you lot listen. I told you lot to come over to the Twitch. You came over to it. Second of all, I love the fact that you're supporting the thing. And as I said, it's Friday. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you've all achieved whatever you need to do for the week. Now, with that being said, apologies for if you know, again, people, I was actually doing some research in relation to Twitch. A little bit of a clue they said is to, if you say you're starting at a certain time, go live technically and slightly earlier than that. And I thought that's what I tried to do today. That's why I obviously put up the, you know, you probably saw the people deluded stream starting soon and things. That's because obviously it allows you, by the time you lot filter in, there's a good portion of you. One love to everybody that's here so far. Get your opinions and all of those things going. Get, you know, let me know let me know your sentiments around specifically Arsenal's month of August on the field, and I'm gonna allow you mine. You know me, I like to month by month, I like to contextualize what's happened and kind of capture my thoughts for a month in whatever I'm feeling in relation to Arsenal. So I'm going to get into that. But what are you lot saying? I see a lot of messages. Yeah, Carl, the notifications take like 5 minutes to roll in. So yeah, man, it must have worked, man. 3 months sub, G. Appreciate that. You know, big up Jezza, big up AM. Tino, you're right. It's second stream of the day. Man, I saying we are winning the Champions League, guys. We are signing Haaland. Here we go, Arsenal mates. I mean, I wish I was that bullish, but fair play. You know, even Deluded Goon is here. Make sure you're following, folks. Big up yourself, Nathan, Maps, and Kel. I appreciate you guys, man. One love to everyone. I hope everyone's here. DJ, I sent you a whisper. Check it. Pretends to know what a whisper is, bro. Big up K Swift as well. Another month, another DG stream. Appreciative of that. But what's this? What's with whisper? Is that fancy Twitch talk? Allow me if it's fancy Twitch talk and I don't know, innit? Whisper, I don't know, man. Twitch DMs are called whispers. All right, cool. See how you set me up? Man could have just said I sent you a DM, you know. Man had to say whisper. We get it. You know Twitch. We get it. You understand this stuff, mate. Whatever you said, though. Hey, where's it gone? What kind of foolishness? But it's not letting me expand. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my guy. I didn't even know you could do them ones. Yeah. Shout out to you for that one. Respect for that one. But we get, like I said, we get it. Oh, I know Twitch. Oh, I've been on Twitch. Oh, legend. Whisper. Allow me, man. But I appreciate your support, man. Blaze, what you said, man like DG, subscribe to you on the underrated work rate and deserve more recognition. Blaze, I appreciate that. I can't lie. Maybe it's one for DG Thoughts. So I think I've touched on it before, but it's like, every time I see that sort of message, it fills me with pride and it gasses me. But at the same time, it makes me kind of upset, you know. Like, it's like, bro, like, man, I've been saying that for years. Like, how long is man gonna be underrated for, bro? Like, surely at some point thing happens. Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? You know, again, I love for that, man. But it's like, and it's like, will it happen? What am I doing? Like, them things there drive me crazy, to be fair. But I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Frankie. What other Twitch terminology is there, Tino? What does shout mean? I know shout must be something on this then. If whisper something, shout's got to be something. There's got to be some mad stuff on this, man. But love for that, man. So yeah, you're handling that. Mine's at ease in that. So yeah, obviously on a more serious note, people, I don't know how serious you lot want to be because I'm here to just speak with you. Like, I don't really want to go back into the month of August, you know. The only positive, let me make my timestamps, people. 1 sec. Timestamps. Let's call it 11 minutes. Do you know what it is? The only positive I can take away from Arsenal in August is it's done. We got over it, innit? Like it's the games are running down. We had 38 games, cool. We've bottled 3 of them, we've got 35 now. We'll soon be in May, people. A lot of us didn't even want the season to start. Shout out to Tino and S ain't even here. AM was there as well. Throughout the whole Euros and all them things, we're saying, boy, it's enjoyable just talking about the countries and transfer this and transfer that. We don't even want the season to come back because we knew what time it was. Now, it is what it is. It has come back now. Now, the month of August for Arsenal, let's call a spade a spade. It was terrible in all sense of the word. Even that's not enough. Not one single positive to really take away. On the pitch, capitulation. Off the field, bewildering in relation to what we was doing, and we did a lot of foolishness. We've our worst start for 67 years, to have no points in the Premier League, to be rock bottom, to have no goals, no clean sheets. There's nothing in it. I mean, pre-season, you're working on trying to get clean sheets, defend better, score more goals, be solid in the midfield. And like I said, it's only 3 games. There's a long way to go. Whatever narrative these boys want to write, it's down to them. But we can only deal with what's in front of us. September, is a new month and them things there. But we have to look at, to go forward, you don't need to look back, but to truly realize how far you've come, you need to know where you're coming from. And we're coming from a shambles. Again, it is pre-season. I mean, it is early in the season. Even if we had a spot on pre-season, everything weren't going to gel and this and these sort of things. I think when everybody looks at the games, it's how we've lost. It's the fact that you weren't up for Brentford. Forget Brentford. In fact, no, don't forget Brentford. You could have been at Brentford. I didn't understand that because we didn't look like we was trying to ruin their day in a healthy sense. We couldn't match their energy. We looked overawed by the 12th man. We just didn't look prepared to play a game of football. And across all 3 games, it's just been cheap mistakes, really. We've handed the games to these players, to these oppositions. I do believe, as soon as these teams have taken the lead, they began planning for their next game. So against Brentford, to not be at it was terrible. Individual mistakes, players not arresting their own performances, poor communication. The Brentford game was terrible. As I said, our season was terrible. So if I look at what I would have hoped, you recognize your last season was terrible. You're coming into pre-season, different mindset, and we see something different in the start of the season where how you start is how you mean to go on, right? Terrible. All ways of the word. And again, against Brentford, long ball, dead ball scenarios are what's harming us. A lot of what we were seeing in pre-season throughout all of them games in Scotland, Chelsea and Spurs, we was doing these same nonsenses. So then obviously when we're playing the games, I can't be surprised, really. So the Brentford game really struck a chord with me. We didn't want to spoil their day. We couldn't match their energy levels, in my opinion, or for me anyways. Bewildering tactics, just looked overawed against Chelsea. Again, the same logic. Again, Lukaku had a good game, but you handed it to Chelsea. You lot were scared. The attitudes towards keeping clean sheets with Pablo Mari just going down. The communication, again, it was just a shambles in all aspects of the word. It was just everything we was doing was terrible. Yeah, we can talk about the red card against City and Chambers has been punched in the face, but again, the minimum is to turn up. And against City, we didn't look like, a lot of these players looked like they were left in London. Their hearts weren't in at the Etihad. Chelsea, people just got nightmares and scared of Lukaku. Brentford, you didn't want to be villains. And like I said, we can move forward. It is only 3 games. But for me to not see these things arrested is concerning. And for me, again, I'm leaving the end of the month and I'm questioning where's the self-pride. Again, I always say I want them to play for the manager. I want them to play for the fans. I want them to play for the club and the shirt and all that positive jazz that fans eat up. I want that. But from what I've seen in these 3 games and really going off the back of last season, haven't seen individuals playing for themselves. Haven't seen individuals with basic self-respect. How can you respect anything else? I have to assume, again, I'm being a bit harsh because I don't think anyone wants to lose, but I have to assume defenders, you don't want clean sheets because you're going, Lukaku is fighting you, you're going down, holding your hair and whatnot, Chambers got punched, that's different, but even that, Chambers is letting Gundogan beat him in the air to a header. If it's not Chambers doing that, it's Holding doing that, it's somebody else doing that. Tierney's my guy, future captain, all of that. I'm looking at him based on August. Have you lost your superpowers? Have you succumbed to this nonsense at Arsenal? Because he's been terrible. Let's keep it true. Pablo Mari, probably up there for being one of the worst players of the specific month. Our attacking players, they're not excelling. It's not banging right now. Nothing is going on. Arteta, it looks like anytime a manager, I don't doubt Arteta can plan. It looks like he can plan for a week. He can study a team. But it looks like if there's something that's fractionally off or they wouldn't account for, he struggles. And I see it in game. He doesn't adapt in game. And when other managers switch up things in the game, he struggles to recognize that. Because again, against Marie against Chelsea, all us fans were sitting there going, boy, you know, you need to either switch to a back three, pull Tierney into a back three, then pull Saka across, do something to arrest that, because Lukaku is relishing it, mounts onto it, Reece James is not being picked up. And again, for the whole club, with that Chelsea game, I struggle to understand. It's games like that for me that tell me, based on this month, you don't care about your profession. You don't really want to improve, because you know who Lukaku is. You know he's going to be up for the game. You know the man's strengths. You know what Tuchel's Chelsea are about. You know Reece James in a back three. He's a good fullback anyways and got fantastic technical ability anyways. He's implored to go forward. You know, before he scored or assist, the annoying thing is the manager should account them for that. But if I remove the manager, the players are extremely naive, because everyone's like, oh, Reece James can cross a ball, you know. Let's let him cross. Let's not close him down. Let's not double up. And Mount and Lukaku and Havertz clocked that. We were lucky that even though we lost, that Chelsea didn't have their shooting boots on, really and truly. If they had their shooting boots on, even like when we played them at the Emirates, we would have got dealt with. Brentford, they didn't have to. We gave Brentford them goals. Again, throw-ins and set pieces and all of these things, you know, again, it's terrible. And I feel sorry, even though Ben White didn't have the best of games against Brentford, he stepped into a shambles. City was a shambles for a variety of reasons, and it was bewildering because Kolasinac was not the worst player on the field. You can't scapegoat him. But in terms of what's going on with the club, we didn't know what's going on. You're playing him against the Premier League champions after trying to sell him. There's even talk of terminating his deal. Now, obviously, that tells me, as someone looking at it from a different perspective, that he might not be close to a move, because surely, Dan James played his last game for United and went Leeds the other day. These things happen, but is there an injury potential there? You know, I was wondering what's going on. So you're kind of having to make do with the guy to the end of the season. Now, he can still go to Turkey, I believe, until the 5th of September, but it looks like his wage demands and his advisors, the Fenerbahce thing is dead now. If he tears up his contract, that's another thing, but it's the bewildering message. This is a man you loaned out last season, and his team got relegated. No, did they? Yeah, I think they did, him and Mustafi. I wasn't paying attention like that. Let me keep it true. But it's not looking good, you know. All I can say is that month's gone, innit? Like, this has happened, innit? I'm not trying to talk about this to be negative or nothing. This is what happened. Same way, if we beat Brentford 2-0, beat City 2-1, done a 3-2 thing against Chelsea, I could talk about that. I can only talk about what I see. And based on this month, not sure what we're doing tactically, not sure what we're trying to do technically, don't really see what we're trying to do playing out from the back, don't really see how we're pressing. Bewildering. And I have to say, this is Arteta's team now, and it's got to start taking shape. Laxed approach from everyone connected with the club, if I'm completely honest with you. Like, it just, to say it hasn't been good enough, you lot was there. Obviously, I'm focusing on the Premier League. Yeah, we beat a under-strength West Brom team. We scored some goals. We won the game. You could take 1-2 bits from confidence, but let's be real, man. The less said about that, the better. Like, come on now. We haven't scored in the league. We're gassing about winning in a cup. It's ridiculous. We're at the point now where we're happy that we beat Brentford 4-0 in a friendly. We couldn't beat the real Brentford. They had an understrength team too. Now I'm being harsh, but you get the point. Now, when I look at it, like I said, people, but look at the goals we've conceded, bro. We've conceded 9 goals in 3 games. We've scored none. This is a team that you lot were fighting me when I said we've got a lot to improve on. You lot was sat there, and I can't lie, everyone's allowed an opinion, but you lot had the utter cheek to tell me that we don't need to improve defensively. All our problems is scoring goals. What are you talking about? That's another example of people being unable to consider two truths can live in the same realm. We don't score goals. Arsenal struggling to score goals, night for attack. There's something that Arteta is not doing technically. So again, you can't just throw Odegaard and Smith Rowe on the same pitch and expect them to create and things are going to happen. Yes, players need to fix up. Our attack is concerning, specifically our strikers, but we don't fashion 10 chances. At least under Wenger, we was doing, or anyone else, we're doing things courtesy of muscle memory. We're just relying on individual brilliance, and it's not here right now. You know, we've conceded 9, we have not scored, and for me, it's the way we've lost. You know, we lose games, obviously, out of all of them. Sometimes you just lose and you have to hold your L's, but we handed results. Way before you talk about how good or bad the other team played, you have to consider Arsenal's self-implodement. And again, it's the problems. You saw the problems through pre-season. And again, against Brentford, it was Ben White and Chambers. Against Chelsea, obviously, Marie didn't have the best of game. Bear guys were doing, Cedric was doing nonsense against City. Bearman were doing nonsense against Manchester City. My point being is not to catch anyone out or not to scapegoat anyone. There's clearly bad habits within the squad because it's a different game, it's different people. If we're going to go back to pre-season again, it was Bellerin one week, then El Nene the next. Against, what was it? I swear we played whoever it was, I'm sure someone messed up against Watford. It was probably El Nene, and against Chelsea, Bellerin played a square pass in pre-season. So again, this is, you lot were there to tell me we've improved defensively. We haven't. We're ninth for attacks. No matter what you say about Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, Martinelli, Saka, should we be ninth in the league for goals? There's something that these players need to arrest within themselves. There's clearly something the manager needs to do. Clearly, people. Evidently. In the same way there's something the manager did to get us third for clean sheets. It's not nice. And again, one thing that scares me is it don't look like, away from tactically and technically and all the football jazz, players weren't prepared for this mammoth task of trying to get Arsenal back into Europe, because you don't go on with the sort of stuff we saw. The mentality would be 10 times what we saw, people, because look at the run of games. Look at the run of games, people. Again, we'll scroll down in a bit, but focusing specifically, if you're looking at this in July, you can't mess around. You're playing a promoted side, gonna want to be up for it. Chelsea and City, 2 Champions League finalists. You're gonna want to be up for it. Again, we did our thing in the EFL. We scored 6 goals, couple good bits of play. I'm not discouraging it. We actually got some goal of the month contenders actually from the Arsenal men's side. Or we're looking at under 18s and 23s, and probably have to ask the under 8s or something. Shout out to the Arsenal females as well, the Arsenal women's team, because they actually know how to play ball, unlike us. But again, we can't mess about, people. September, we're going to get into it, but there's not really been anything positive in August, has there been, people? There hasn't. If I had to pick the best moment of August, is obviously the 6-0 win and the confidence that we can get from a couple players. The lovely little Odegaard flick, the hat-trick from Aubameyang and whatnot. Saka got off the score sheet. The worst moments, the 5-0 City, because it could have been worse for me. Out of all of them, it's the 5-0 City, and it's not even the scoreline. It's not really the scoreline, because I actually was a lot angrier in the Chelsea game. I'm just way more disappointed the way we played against City, the self-implodement, the fact that City didn't have to try. Like, you lot were there for 7 minutes, max 3 minutes, in my opinion. It's just a shambles, and it's just like, you can't go to it's just, for me, it's like, how can you, even if we lose, fair play, but you're going against the European champions, the way we lost 5-0, the way Norwich lost 5-0, and you get no brownie points for how you die in it. If you're dead, you're dead in it, but they can leave with any pride. We can't. Yeah, there was a red card and whatnot. If Leno could have been at fault for a couple of them goals, arguably. But if he was in indecent form, which I think he was, boy, it could have been they could have made history. They probably could have scored 15, let alone 10, let alone 7. So yeah, and then you look at it, we got no time to feel sorry for ourselves, people. September, it's light to us because we're not playing in Europe and them things there. Norwich next week. Well, don't let me not capture. I don't even know if it's next week, but we've got to play Norwich again. They played quite well against City and Liverpool, respectively, people. And if I'm Norwich, I'm sitting there and going, listen, don't be complacent and don't think, respect Arsenal, but yeah, I'm not being funny, boys. If you play like this against Liverpool and City, you definitely get something of Arsenal. They're probably saying if we do our jobs, we can bet on Arsenal self-imploding. We look like lunch meat. Everyone wants to bully us. Everyone sees our mum give us a £5 and comes to take our lunch money. That's what everybody's doing. And this is where I need to see pride and hitting back. Centre halves, every striker that bucks you thinks they're getting on the score sheet. That's got to hurt. Every centre half every centre forward that plays you, every striker that every centre half that goes against this club, boys, easy clean sheet. Aubameyang what? Yeah, I don't know what you are, mate. Like, get out of here. Like, they're on that. Everyone looks at us as lunch meat. Norwich are gonna be at it. Sean Dyche don't like us, and again, set pieces against Burnley. AFC Wimbledon in the cup. Again, the cup is dodgy. Just go out there and win it. It'd be nice to see Ramsdale play. Obviously, he was on loan there. The North London derby, it says what it says. Now, if I had to make a points prediction, but you can't afford to do no points prediction for Arsenal. You can't sit there and say, yeah, we might this Spurs game, this Burnley, that Norwich. You can't really do any of that because of the way we're playing. I don't think you've earned the right to do that. And again, there's pressure on the jobs. The players, even if they flop, they'll survive. Xhaka, we've been talking, is he good enough? Is he not? He signed a new deal. Arteta, I can't say you have. And you've kind of, quote unquote, been backed in the market. So someone's going to have to show something, Again, at this moment, I just hope you get 3 points. But a serious club with serious ambitions, you try to get 6 to 9. Same way you just drop now, you should be trying to do a get back. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say you can defo beat Spurs because you can't. But the North London derby goes either way, and we won the last one. Again, Burnley, you should be picking up 3 points. Let's be real with ourselves. Norwich, you should be picking up 3 points. So you should be getting minimum 6 points in this month. If you don't get 6 points, then I can't lie. I think you got to sack Arteta. I can't cap. I don't care if VAR's there, penalties got missed, all of these things. I don't care. If you don't get 6 to 9 points, they'll probably allow you with 3. But if you don't get 6 points, I would say is peak. If you get 9 points, you'll relieve a lot of pressure, especially if you win the North London derby. I don't think you're going to get sacked if you lose to Norwich. I don't think you're going to get going into that. There's going to be a lot of pressure. I don't think you'll get sacked going into the. You might get clipped for the Burnley game, but I think if they're going to sack you, you just won't be in charge to go away to go away to Brighton. That's me personally. I just don't think you'll be involved in that. You know, the Spurs game is probably, and depending on the manner of the Spurs game, that's where you lose your job, because again, if you lose 5-0 to Spurs, if you lose 2-0 in the way we lost to Chelsea and City, considering the fact that you've done that and what we're going into, if you lose like that, you might as well just bust out at half time in the game. Like, if we're depending on it, you might as well just keep it moving, or it's gonna get long, man. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I'm trying to find the fixture list because for some reason that weren't coming up, people. Oh yeah, we're back now. Because when you lot sit here and you lot tell me, yeah, we could pick up this run of games. I'm like, I hear you lot, but boy, you lot are wishful in it. You lot are wishful because again, we can't afford to talk about November and all of these things. But there's no run of games you look at and you think that's where Arsenal pick up points. From now till December, the winter's gonna be cold, people. Not everyone will survive the winter. You know, some animals in the wild die. Not everyone survives the winter, you know. But yeah, big pressure. You beat Norwich. I won't say it relieves pressure, but it gets people off you. And this international break's a welcome period for him. He's got to be just trying to survive to the next international break. If I'm completely honest with you, that's what he's got to do. But yeah, look into September again. You need to be getting at least out of the 4 games you've got, I would say 6 points out of the league. You target 6 to 9. I would say, if you could win all 4, it'd be great. But I would say you need 3 wins. You need to beat Norwich. You need to beat Burnley. You need to beat one of the 2 in a potential convincing manner. If you want to save that for Spurs, you can. You need to keep going in the cup just because it's the cup. Again, there's 4 games, there's 4 cup finals. Again, and like that, you could buy yourself a lot of time because, again, I don't want to jump too ahead. We're in September, but this is the month we're looking at. He's got Norwich, you've got to win it. Simple as that. Burnley, you've got to get some momentum. North London derby, it goes either way. That's what I'm saying. If you get 6 points, people might say, well, the Norwich game, the Burnley game, and again, it all depends on the mentality against Spurs. If he's lucky enough to survive September, then October's not better. Look at them, people. Look at that. I'm not trying to give you heart attacks and that. Sorry if you have suffered from such, but November's long. You got to go Etihad. I mean, man said Etihad. You got to go Anfield. You got to go Old Trafford with Ronaldo now. Arsenal, Newcastle, you should be winning that. You should be beating Watford, but they're known to give us a dodgy game. Now, save yourselves from looking at November for a second. Look at October. We start off with our good friends Brighton. Ben White, I'm sure they want to give you a welcome. We know Mupé is a villain against us. Bissouma, he loves to laugh against us, and I don't like going to the Amex. We need to win that. Arsenal versus Palace, for years we've been, again, definitely under Emre and Arteta. That game hasn't been easy. We've dropped a lot of points. Last season, that's an example I always used a lot. We was looking at Kieran Tierney in that fixture a year ago to break down a low block. Now, I don't quite think the low block's quite there anymore, and they've got rid of some players. But Vieira, there's going to be no niceties there. I hope he gives us a little 3 points there, but I don't think he is. Again, Aston Villa, I want to win because they handed it to you last season. And them Villa fans, shout out Carl if he's there somewhere. And I love Villa. I love how the Villa fans are, but they're on to us. I want to win that. They got Buendia, pocket Buendia. You can't pocket Leon Bailey. He's the best player in the league along with Mikel Antonio and Ethan Pinnock. Shout out to J.A. Tugs them. But on a serious note, away to Brighton, at home, Palace is not easy. Villa is going to be a difficult game. I don't need to. Leicester, yeah, we beat them last year, but Leicester, Arsenal's gazy. Brendan Rodgers' team is gazy. They got a better team than us, more complete, more game management. Every game is tough. No one can afford to feel sorry for themselves now. If you feel sorry for yourself because of what happened in August, you need to tell Arteta and get out the club now, tear up some deals because it's happened now. There's nothing we can do. I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face, which I have been doing on YouTube, how I'm vexed at what Arteta is doing, Edu this, players this. It's happened now, innit? We need to move. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. And you lot can't afford to keep losing. You feel sorry for yourselves, nobody cares. Norwich don't care about your sub story. Norwich trying to stay in the league. Burnley are trying to do what they're doing. Spurs, Brighton, Palace, everyone, and no one should be giving anyone 3 points. And you need to stand up to be counted. I don't care about being good for 20 minutes. VAR not doing this, the ref that. It's about what happens at the end of 90, because it looks to me, the gaffer, everyone, even people listening to this that might be agreeing, people find positives where there's none. I'm not saying you can't say, okay, there's an encouragement, 10 minutes, 10-minute spell there. We can build on that. But it's like we're happy to console ourselves with, yeah, first 10 minutes we were out for it. Then what happened? You know, the other 80 we wasn't quiet. There was a red card, this, that, and the other. They're all excuses and burying heads in the sand. There needs to be a performance. Of course, you can't be at it every day, but you need to be at. Look at them teams. There's no team there that you can afford to be half-hearted against. Norwich, Burnley, Spurs, Wimbledon. You can't afford to do any nonsense. You look at October, you've got Brighton, Palace, Villa, Leicester. November, Watford, Newcastle, United, Liverpool. But these are tough, you know, two of them teams, if I'm real with you, Newcastle is in a relegation battle. Watford, without a doubt, probably trying to fight to stay in the league. Liverpool, don't need to say how tough that is. Can't remember the last time we won in the league at Anfield, to be fair with you. Old Trafford, you won there last year, but when was the last time we won in a convincing manner? And again, the man there got Ronaldo. And if you lot defend the way you're defending, same way Lukaku said, let me get some FPL points, Ronaldo's going to get a brace. Vardy's looking like he's back in form. He's going to savage you lot away to Leicester if you're not on it. So Mikel Arteta, these players, you all need to arrest your mistakes and arrest them quickly, or it's going to be long for us, people. You know, even on that topic, people. If I had to pick a best and worst player of the month, let me leave it to you lot. Who would you lot say is best and worst player? Worst, I'd say Marie, just because I think you've just been tired. Maybe even Cedric, but you did all right in the Brentford preseason game. I'd say Marie. Best. I mean, Smith Rowe was all right against Brighton. He tried against City. Probably just give it Smith Rowe or something, man. Even that. Everyone, I don't think no one's been good and everyone's been shaky. I think there's no, I can't say a player of the month with my heart. You know what, Aubameyang got a hat trick in against West Brom. So just to the fact that you're a top goal scorer and you scored some goals, I'll give it to you. But I don't believe anyone has. And we, you know, again, all I care about is that we're able to move forward. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We feel sorry for ourselves, it gets hella worse than this, in my opinion. Arsenal August review / September preview. Boy, we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see, boy. Hope you're all doing well and safe. What are you lot saying? Because I was chatting for a minute. Leno is helpless. Best Lokonga. Yeah, you know what? Lokonga. But for me, I'm forcing it. I think Smith Rowe, Lokonga, them and there could probably be there, but it's tired, man. It's tired. Like, I don't even want to do the worst thing. Because we all win, lose, draw together. You know, we just have to accept it, really and truly. It's a bit of a madness. Leno is the best and worst. Don't know, man. You know what? The Lokonga shout stands, you know. Lokonga, that's a shout. Completely forgot. But then again, he ain't really had a look in. But you could force it, could say Lokonga. I'd say Marie, Xhaka are up there for me for underperformers. I can't lie to you. All the defenders have been worse than Tierney, but I'm not saying Tierney's worst defender, but just as an added point, my biggest concern among everything in August is I can't lie, Tierney's been looking shaky, bro. Tierney's been looking shit. Tierney's my guy. I'm Tierney FC. I still think he's the best in the league. He's still my captain. I don't switch up on my guys, but I have to be real. He's looked shaky, and yeah, I get it. He's looked shaky because he's trying to do other people's jobs, like against Chelsea. Marie's not going to give any man confidence, really, but he's looking shaky of his own accord, and I can't lie. Though I'm seeing some of your usernames. Some of you were you know, some of you were at the watch-alongs where we at Brentford. I was saying, yo, Tierney. For me as well, you got to say Arteta because he's been bottling really, and for me, I'm seeing managers winning against you and they're reacting, and you're not really doing nothing really and truly. So it's a bit of an L there, man. It's a bit of an L, but probably feel the Lokonga shouts. If I'm real with you, we're all crap. We're all crap this month, so everyone's the worst player. Best, there ain't none. If we're real with ourselves, there's none. There's none. It definitely ain't in the Arsenal first team. Or ask Robertson himself. Best in the league. But Robertson, he gets his shout. If man say Robertson, it's calm. Robertson, I wanted him at Arsenal. It's real recognized real. I just think Tierney is. Same way if the United man, he says, sure, I think he's wassing it, but he's there. Look at this man running banter, bro. Man said he's not even the best left back in the Scottish League. Alive, man. Man said Chilwell, allow it. Allow it. Robertson, I'll have it from Robertson. I'll have it from Shaw. I'm not taking it from Chilwell. Them man there can't even start for England. I bet you Saka plays left back before my man. Man said Chilwell, bro. Man looks like he works in Urban Outfitters. I'm not taking it from Chilwell. Allow me. CFC's finest. I love you, but out of all the things you can chat about in that Chelsea team, allow it, fam. Allow it, fam. I said Chilwell. Allow it, fam. I know Arsenal get mugged off, but 50 mil for that. I bet James, what's it? Reece James is better than him on the left hand side. Man, allow it, fam. Man, allow it, bro. Man, allow me, bro. Allow me. But I said, chill well, you know. You man still talking about that Callum Hudson-Odoi thing, yeah? I'm joking, I'm joking. Anyways, big up you lot, people. What are you lot saying, though? We've got out of that, you know. This is why I love you lot, because you lot actually, it's a pleasure to do content with you guys, man. You don't wass it. You say good stuff. We have our little banter. But what are you lot saying, man? Let me take in some of your comments, man. You guys need a solid defender, experienced, and a leader like Chiellini. Chiellini's a madness. Man said, afternoon, Mr. Really and Truly. Do I really say it that much? Bro, fair play. Worst Xhaka for said enough. Arteta, bro. Arteta and Edu. To be fair, at the end of August, Edu can look at it and say, boy, you know what? I've kind of done my job, you know. I'm not saying I'm happy with what's going on, but from everything we read, what man wanted Ramsdale? Cool, you got Ramsdale, my guy. You wanted Ben White? You got Ben White, my guy. You want to give Xhaka a new deal? He's integral to what you want? Cool, we'll do that. We'll give all the other guys new deals you want as well. We'll shift some guys out. You know, we look a bit light in midfield. Surely was looking at midfield. Clearly, the club, I don't know, the priority should have been there. We need a striker, but I mean, the midfield, the ball, how's the ball gonna get to strikers? The midfield ain't been addressed, but we was looking at strikers. So there's clearly some rumblings around that. You needed a right back, not only just a right, because some managers be happy you get a right back. Oh, you want a guy that can do centre back and right back and do all these mad things with the analytics where we can look on videos and see scribbles. Cool, you got him. Timo, TT, calm, you got him. So I can't, you know what? Even though I don't think Eddie put in his shift, when I look at it, it might be an Arteta thing because you've been given everything, and I'm not seeing what the team's forming into. The good thing about that is it's still early in the. Man said the window's closed. I'm moving like these individuals. It's still early in the season. I'm very scared. I'm not trying to console myself with the fact that it's 3 games, but it is still only 3 games. My point being, you either feel sorry for yourselves or you lot take the active step that the fans want to pattern in things. And who knows? You know, narratives can change a lot. I don't think it's going to be this, but suddenly, and I don't like this ifs word with Arsenal, but if you get a result in the games you've got, you know, you beat Wimbledon in the cup, keep the feeling going, you do what you need to do against Norwich and Burnley. You know how Arsenal and Spurs fans get. It doesn't matter where any team is. It's, you know, you earn yourself some credit winning the North London derby. Suddenly, the narrative changes. But saying that, like I said, October and November, it's not pretty. We have to deal with September at this moment of making this vid, but it's not pretty. And we're not going to get there lying to ourselves that we are. Like I hear when, I can't lie, when the manager speaks after the game, like I hear with the players, finding, sometimes we've lost and there is positives, but 9 times out of 10, we're forcing it. It feels like this new age. I always say it like, you know how kids these days, you get awarded for nothing. Like there'll be a race. And if you're, you know, the way I grew up in my 26 years, if even second and third, it's not winning, innit? Like, bro, man's got Jamaican grandparents. It's not, you need to gold thing. Like, well, I'll go on for the gold thing. It's a myth, innit? You need to want to win that. So second and third, you don't really want to deal with that. But it feels like today's day and age, you might finish 8th and you still get a cookie. You just get something for taking part. It feels like Arsenal. It feels generally last month looked like a club where everyone, it's a Sunday league team. Everyone's mums pays their subs. Oh, Marie's mum's complaining. She's paying her 200 quid. He's not playing. I got to start him. I ain't seen the ruthlessness. I haven't. And I think ruthlessness, if we're ruthless, if he thinks he's being ruthless, cool. That's another thing. You might need to leave. But I think with ruthlessness can come clarity. If you're ruthless with a man, you don't get the mate, whether I agree with it or not, you don't get Maitland-Niles acting up at the end of the window if you communicate properly and show ruthlessness. We see a resolve. The Xhaka situation is resolved way before it happens. You know, there's clarity over Xhaka. There's clarity over the system. You know, I don't think Arteta has shown me he's able to differentiate who is your first team, who is the rotation, what players might be brought in to do a specific job. Like Sir Alex Ferguson's the best example for that. Of having a squad. You might not see Ji-Sung Park play a couple games and then they might just play a big game. He's getting thrown in. Some other games he might not play. There's not enough hierarchy in the squad for me. It's like the wrong players are led to believe that there's not much in it. And I do think I don't want to say City, but it's like he thinks this is a City thing where you might not be able, you don't need to play John Stones and Laporte because you could throw in Diaz and someone else, or the wealth of options up front. You know, if Foden's not about, you can throw Grealish in attacking areas. You ain't got that. So I want to see more clarity. You know, we had 38 games last season, like everyone. We played 37 different formations. Yes, injuries happen, but come on now. 37 different lineups. Yes, I actually like that Arteta likes to think about the opposition and tweak things like Emery, but it's like us as a club, we ain't got balance. Wenger was not really on that. You man are too on that to the point where we don't try and hit back. We're so focused on dodging punches and bobbing and weaving. You know, the immediate threat is still trying to harm us. We're not trying to throw our own punches back and save the situation. And no matter where you are in the Prem, you've got to do that. Liverpool ultimately smacked up not Norwich, sorry, our next opponents. But Norwich gave them a game for a sec. Look how Leeds, no one was on going to Ellen Road. You know, Leeds Leeds City, they took 4 points, forgive me if I'm wrong, off City last year. I could be wrong on that. But I need to see a bit more desire, clarity, all them buzzwords. It's looking a myth right now. You know, I don't see players taking responsibility individually as well. Some of you are 26 plus. You're not going to have many days. And if Arsenal's the way us fans want it, some of you, your days at a top club is numbered because you're not going to go nowhere else. You know, I don't get the vibe. And for me also on that, like I said, it comes down to self. I don't get the sense of embarrassment. Like certain man don't feel embarrassed. Like forget fair play. We could talk about Arteta and everything, but you don't feel embarrassed to be part of it and whatnot. And if you do, you know, you're probably doing something on the side. So hopefully there's a reaction next month. But based on what we've seen in August, like I said, to call it terrible is to be probably being a bit too nice to Arsenal. So hopefully it turns around, but easy right now. CFC, you don't believe that, man. Chelsea fans used to tell me Jogba is better than Henry, so I have to switch off a bit. When's the next FM stream, DG? Allow me, man. Didn't we just do one? But probably, maybe not today. I don't know, man. Probably next week. Still, I want to cool off tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ruthless. Arteta ain't ruthless with his favorites. No, he's not. But everyone's got favorites. But that's the thing I get. For me, I don't get the vibe that there's a degree of like, you know, like it's him or it's you or me sort of thing. It's like, oh, if I get sacked, oh, it's all cool. Like, do you want the job as much as you as much as these like want to be players? If not, it's me or you, because I'm not trying to. It looks like he defends players that are not worth defending. You need some performances from players to establish hierarchy, though, a bit of a catch-22 situation. But then again, he quote-unquote has his hierarchy because Xhaka's going to play every game. Couple other men are going to play every game. And I mean, realistically, if every Arsenal fan was to name their team, you know, for 2 games or something, because you can't say 5 because people are going to get injured. You're right, it is a catch-22. They're not going to do Callum Chambers right back and then Maitland-Niles there and then an X-man there in the 3rd game. Like what? We're going off the last 2 games. Well, 2 of those 3 Premier League games was there not 2 different right backs. I might be gassing. Was there not someone else? There could have been someone different even against City. Kolasinac just randomly came in as well. Like, do you really need performances to know some man, if anything? And like I said, Kolasinac against City weren't the worst player. Injuries did force a hand, but you shouldn't be in that situation, really and truly, man. It's crazy. Like, you don't need to look at that to know certain players aren't levels. Like, you know, you shouldn't be playing Marie against City. So I mean against Chelsea. So that comes down to competencies as well. So do you understand your players? Because if you're gonna play Marie, you know he's going to be in trouble if what happens is he's going to get forced into those wide areas. Cool. You might put Tierney next to him and put him in the middle of a back 3. Instead, you went with a 4. Or you could have put in you could have just done a couple other things there to mitigate against that. None of them things there came into play, though. So I'm still kind of bewildered as to the gaffer and really how good he is technically, because he does a bunch of stuff, but I want to see the little things that you're about, because I don't know what you're about. If someone says, what's Mikel Arteta as a manager? I don't know. Tinkerman is the only thing that comes to only word that comes to mind. If you tell me Thomas Tuchel, obviously you think of back 3. I don't even like to say counter-attacking football because they're on the front foot, but counter-attacking football comes to mind, devastating counter-attacking football. Klopp, you think of high press. City, you think of a bit of those similar things as well. Even other managers, Brendan Rodgers, you think of a couple things, man. You think of counter-attacking football as well and spot on defensively. Great, Brighton, you think of maximum, because for me, they leave their maximum. You think of high intensity with a couple of these teams as well. Arsenal, well, I don't even want to encourage you lot to say words that you think of when I say Arsenal and word association games and things, but you get the point, man. Arteta is fake, ruthless. If he's ruthless, he'll tell man you're not in my plans. That's it. And I just think it comes. I think it's a respect thing. Like it just. I'm not gonna say I don't know Arteta as a person in it, but it's a respect thing. You know, again, it's how you do things. There's a way in how players leave, and for me, surely it makes your job easier. Now, I don't know everything. He might have told our Maitland Niles certain things, and Maitland Niles is whining. But for me, I'm of the belief, maybe as an ignorant fan, is that start of the season, you get these 25-man squad, you have the 25-man squad. At some point, surely everyone gets pulled into the office for a 5-10 minute chat. This is what I think of you. This is where I stand. The door's open to leaving if you want. I want you to be part of my plans. Then everybody understands. Then it's down to Ainsley. If you tell him you're not wanted here, it's down to him to say, all right, cool, I'm busting out now. Let's work together to resolve this. Or to say, you know what? I think you're wrong, Gaffer, because that happens. I think you're wrong, Gaffer. I'm gonna mash some work in training because Holding did that, and now you're gonna use me, sort of thing. That happens all the time. But again, I don't think that's being said, and it makes it easier for him because if he says that, he can get on with other things and resolving other things. You don't get on the eve of a transfer deadline day. You don't get the story that comes out with Maitland doing the Instagram, doing the Instagram stuff and all the Daily Mail reports and things. So it's just inexperience, At times, I don't. Is that an inexperienced thing though? Because I've never been a manager. You lot have never been a manager, and I don't think without knowing all the variables, I don't think you lot do that. So is that an inexperienced thing? Because logically, someone could tell you like not to do that. I don't know how many leadership positions Arteta has held in life, and saying that the man's been a captain. That's why, you know what, that don't even make sense because the man's been a captain. You would think honesty and communication is needed, and or something really and truly. So I don't know where I stand with that. When Klopp came in, we legit saw a difference in just about everything in the first 5 minutes in his first game. And from that, I knew we were only going up. And that's it, 96. You saw that sort of stuff. And for me, Klopp got you to a point which I haven't got to under Arteta, where you can evidently see there's a system, what you're trying to do. That keeper's not good enough. That centre half's not good enough. That striker's not good enough, or whatever. You get these guys in that we're talking about, and you see it upgrade. Do I think Arteta will be better with better players? Yes, I actually think we'll see better playing out from the back in theory now, but I can't convincingly tell you. Okay, cool. You get your, and I know the talent isn't really there, but you get your Ben White, you get your Ramsdale, you get your TT, and these guys, I'm going to see what you're on. I don't know that. I hope so, but I don't know. And that's because Klopp has as philosophy, but Klopp's been at Mainz. I don't know what he's done beyond that, but he's got a foundation. A lot of people talk about Gerrard, someone that I'm sure you Liverpool fans, I assume you are, have spoke about him potentially taking over one day or something along them lines. At least Gerrard's done some under 18s work. A big reason as to why I think Lampard and Arteta, well, he failed/failing, is because these lot have never had to actually work with a squad. They've never had to deal with the dynamics and do it themselves, even though it's under 18s. I'm sure at Liverpool you've got to handle big personalities. Them big boy 16-year-olds, everybody said they're the best thing since sliced bread. They believe it. Then you've got the other ones. Everyone wants to play. There's nothing different apart from obviously the levels. That's one of them, man. But saying that, I can't lie. Watching the Brentford Arsenal game, I can't lie. His coaches seem to be quite hands-on. They're all talking. I mean, and we saw in the Athletic today, his coaches, they help with transfers indirectly. I do think Arteta should have been, I don't think the club's hierarchy have clearly given Arteta all he can to thrive in terms of just someone that might tap his shoulder and say, bro, you needed to win Europa League. Why did you do false nine? Why did you do that? Hey, fam, I can't lie. It's been 3 games. You need to show a system. Trust the process and time don't mean nothing, Just that positive pressure, like with Tuchel. Tuchel's done some weird shit, like all managers do. But if he does weird shit at Chelsea, if it works, you're a messiah. If it doesn't, why'd you do that, bro? If Klopp does something, well, FFG is a bit different, but I'm sure questions will be asked. So, and again, Arteta's been given the right to build his coaching stuff. You saw an individual coach rolling. that I was getting gassed off that as well. Individual coach, raw. So I was thinking, like I swear I said this before. I was of the belief that, all right, cool, Arteta, you lead your sessions, cool, and then you might say, all right, boom. I beg you, go off with Nelson, go off with this guy, go off with that guy, go off with this guy, work on them, because that's what individual coach should do. And that might be what's happening. But me as a fan that's doing what I'm doing all week and going to the Emirates or watching it on TV, I don't get the impression that I see that, if that makes sense. So I can only go off what I see. I can't really talk about variables that I can't see because I don't work for Arsenal Football Club. So it's one of them ones. Interesting though, man. I think Gerrard stays at Rangers for a couple of years. I don't know if he goes back to Liverpool straight away. I would love it, but something just tells me he wants to go when he thinks he's proper levels. Obviously, he can't turn down that job. Come on now. But at the same time, I just think he might just do a little one intermediate step in the Premier League. I don't want to list clubs and then the Liverpool move, but it's all on Klopp, man. See what Wenger said. If they come fifth or sixth, I think they're pulling up trees. 10th is about right. At the moment, Arsenal are in the middle. He's being nice, man. Big up my granddad Wenger. You know he's being diplomatic with this thing. You know he's not happy with nothing. You know, just because he's Wenger, it's a gentleman thing. He's not gonna rub it out. You know he's on to Arteta. I know no way Arsene Wenger can condone that. I know Arsene Wenger's a gentleman, but I know he needs to pattern that up, man. He needs to WhatsApp Arteta if he knows how to use it and get onto him, man. Needs to draw him out, man. Needs to draw him out. Actually needs to, because for me, any manager, I would admire Arteta a lot more if I could sit there and say you're too defensive for Arsenal. Because for me, if you're too defensive, you've got a if you're too, how do I make it make sense? Like if you're too defensive, at least you've got a hill to die on. Like Van Gaal, he was passing United fans to death, but at least that's what he's about. If it goes tits up, I don't know what happens here. I mean, there's no other reliable Arsenal news or anything of note to even bring out here. Other things. What are you lot saying, man? I think Gerrard wants to manage in the Champions League first. Us not making it this year was likely a large setback for his career. Why? Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you, man? But when Klopp goes back to Germany, Gerrard will probably go back to Liverpool. It all depends with Klopp, It all depends because I'm sure it's on the back of his head. It's like Pep. It's like when you've been there for so long, it's almost like, do I try something else? Like for me, I would not love it, but I would love for Klopp to stay at Liverpool for a time. And I like Klopp. I like the club of Liverpool, what they stand for generally. I like Klopp as a person. I just think it's a good match, and again, I'm an ignorant Arsenal fan, but at a point it appeared like everyone from the owners to down was singing from the same hymn sheet. In recent years or whatever, it's come across that FFG are not really doing what they're supposed to do. So at some point, as a manager, you surely go, oh, you know what? This has been exhausting anyways. The squad needs to be rebuilt. I need to recharge the investment. I don't know if it's going to be there. Saying that they did buy Canute, he might keep it moving. And obviously, people need to remember, as much as he's fond of Liverpool, it's a job to him, bro. I'm sure Liverpool holds a special place in his heart. He's achieved greatness, but he didn't come out being no Liverpool fan. He's not from Liverpool. It's a job. And I'm sure, I don't know if a German offer comes, but you do wonder when will he move, regardless of his contract being signed. Wants to coach Germany, but how it all depends how long Hansi Flick's going to be there, innit? One of them ones. Slow football news day, man. Nothing going on at all. It's a shame what happened to them English players yesterday, man. I don't even want to talk about it again. It's just coming back on my screen. Yeah, I don't see anything. Liverpool's a socialist club. Yeah, it might be, but everything has to come to an end soon, bro. As wonderful as it is. Would you take Ten Hag at this point? Ramsdale was apparently an Arteta signing. Edu suggested Neto for 12. Exactly, you know. Edu, bro, Arteta has more respect. I think Arteta has more control than Edu, if I'm honest with you. And what I mean by that is he can veto signings, and rightly so. But at the same time, technical director, obviously, I don't want Neto, but if he was someone that knew ball and someone, you know, we could have got Ramsdale or, I don't know, a young Ike Casillas, I would like my technical director to overrule, man. I can't lie. So, yeah, man. What other comments have we got? That's not trolling. Friday's been good so far, my guy. Arsenal will get 2 wins in the next 2. I have faith in Aubameyang and Lacazette. I hope you're right, Killy. Hope you're right, partner. Because it's peak right now. The summer window coming. Certain men are gonna want to leave. Watch the rumbling about to start. Plans for the weekend. Hey, man. Content. And then actually try to relax, man. Should have relaxed for the bank holiday. Feel like I'm missing out on too much, man. I missed out on way too much, man. I missed out on all my soccer things, man. Oh, it's an L still. It's an L. But we move, man. Let me go on go.com and see what we've got. We already know Callum Hudson-Odoi's loan didn't bang. I mean, he didn't get to leave on loan. When he left, all I said was that in Barca, they wouldn't love him the same as they do here. In relation to Griezmann, bro. Is what it is. Fair play. And all I want to see next season, from next season, next month from Arteta is just some clarity, man. Just whatever you're trying to do, double down on it, man. Don't do 3 1 week, 4 1 week, 10 1 week, 7 1 week. Like just stay true to the TIG, man. Just stay true to it, man. Plans, well, I've already got that. I just like managers that have clarity in what they want to do, man. Because then I can really criticize you. Like, I mean, then I can criticize you, but I can kind of respect you. Xhaka's gonna survive Arteta sacking. It's mad. I can't lie. He's gonna sign bare guys, man. Nah, we ain't in no relegation battle out, man. Right now we are, but we ain't even in that. I'm a Liverpool fan and cap aside, I can't see you, man, getting points anywhere. They just got a preview wrong, innit? I'm surprised Arsenal fans don't care about Basuma laughing. I mean, what can man do? Like, if he's laughing, he's like, well, technically he's not laughing at us. It's people running bants, but man, people want to find balance when it's not needed. AM people only want to find balance when they agree when the time's right, because some of these things have been prevalent even when Arsenal was on that winning record last year, but no one wanted to speak about because you see negative. It's only when people are moving mad that people have all the time in the world to chat. Best would be Smith Rowe. Didn't see that one, but fair play. And this is it as well. If you're 2 years deep with a manager and you see no game plan, man needs to go. That simple. Can't disagree with that. You've had enough time. To say time's an understatement, man. And the thing is, I hate about it is people there's this magic that there's no time. I mean, because there's games. What are you doing all week? What are you doing all week? People forget just because it's not preseason and them things there. What are you doing? You're in the building. These players are there. So I'm of the belief now that the communication is terrible, man. The communication is just terrible, man. Because you've had enough time. Do I have to start considering? Okay, cool. Your plans, they could be good, but it's ineffective how you're conveying them to people. Boy, I don't know, man. Appreciate one true villain. Feeling nothing else, dude. There's nothing else in this Arsenal world, people. Can't lie, there seems to be nothing. There seems to be nothing else with Arsenal people. So I'm gonna keep it moving, man. On that note, make sure you hit. You know, I was about to say hit the like button. Go on YouTube and hit the like button. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're subscribing and doing all of them things. Yeah, man. We're out. I'm out of here, people. Really, I see what thing you're saying. I got no time to answer that. But yeah.
Because you always use that active red light, defending.
I think